Broadcast live.
You are live, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Oh,
you're okay. We're doing our podcast.
What's going on? Timmy is in North Carolina. Come on, raise up. How you doing, bro?
I'm good, man. Doing well.
Come on and raise up. Take your shirt off. Can you, Tim, at some point during this episode, will you take your shirt off and wave it around like a helicopter?
Maybe. We'll see how it's going.
Okay.
I don't know, Dave.
Okay, well, channel your inner PD Pablo.
You put your PD Pablo.
Your brain cap. If you guys aren't paying attention, everyone needs to put their brain cap on for today because it's a brain cap episode. Mm-hmm. Timmy, we are now the 3rd seed in the West. We are only 3 games back from the 1 seed, and we're 6 games away from the 5 seed, which means we'll, at least, in my humble opinion, finish in the top 4. How you feeling, Tim?
About the same as I did before last night's win, because we're still have to face the Lakers.
Yeah,
I'm really disappointed about that. I was hoping we'd leapfrog and the Lakers would stay where they were, but we finally make our push forward, and so did the Mavs. So, damn, it still looks like we're going to end up playing Baby Bron and all them in the first round.
Well, I think we are going to talk about that today, our potential matchup against the Lakers, which I was afraid of at one point in time. But you know what? I'm not as afraid anymore. I was nervous, but I'm not as afraid anymore. And I think we'll get to that. Bill, what do you think right now, where we are seated? We are the 3 seed. We cannot slip below the 4 seed with this move like every game.
I think what's maybe, if anything, what's really encouraging is our defense has never played better than it has right now in the whole season. So maybe that's what gives you encouragement. If you looked at our net rating prior to the Jamal injury, we were 15th in defense, and now we are 9th.
Oh yeah.
So our offense has gone from only from 5th to 6th too. So. The net rating, if you care about analytics, is showing that we're still playing really good basketball. And obviously, just by the eye test, if you will, you can just tell that we're it was a little windy out there, Tim.
Yeah, hey Tim, do you think you can mute and then unmute when it's time to talk? Thank you. It's super windy on the Outer Banks of North Carolina.
Tough life.
Now. Yeah.
Tough life for the Outer
He's
Banks.
wearing his Nike golf hat and like some
he's got Birks on.
Oh yeah. I just can imagine the life he's living right now. Oh my God. But yeah, no, we're in a good place, honestly.
Yeah.
Timmy, would you rather play the Mavs or the Lakers round 1?
You know, I would have to go with the Mavs. They haven't been proven in the playoffs. I think they're still missing a piece or two before they're going to make that leap to the next level. Whereas I get LeBron's just coming back from a high ankle sprain, which is going to hold him back, and it's going to make him, that's a tough injury to come back from, especially at his age, and try to play the way he's been playing at that level. But I still like our chances against the Mavericks a little bit more than LA, and I'm going to blame it all on the NBA and the fact that they won't let LeBron lose it first.
If I'm not mistaken, LeBron came back from this injury and said, "I'll never be 100%."
Yeah, the quote's a little different.
What was the quote?
It was taken out of context by the media.
Okay,
if you actually read what he said, because I wanted to read that, and he was like, "Well, you're never really 100% once the season starts. After the season starts, anyway."
Gotcha.
Like Kuzma said the same thing. So he's not implying that this injury took it out of him necessarily. He's just talking about how he's never going to be 100%. Like it's just where he's at in his career and everything. With injuries included, and the toll that the NBA has taken on him. He says in general. He's just not 100% and probably won't be. And that NBA players aren't really ever 100% once the season starts.
So that's what that's about?
Yeah.
Oh, darn it. I was hoping he was just being like, I'll never be good again.
No.
Dang it.
No, not necessarily.
Okay. All right. Tim, I would rather face the Mavericks as well, but I don't like playing the Mavericks in the first round because of matchup issues. Can you explain what you think some of those matchup issues are?
Yeah, well, we always struggle against Luka. he tends to get a lot of calls as well, but he's a threat from inside and deep outside. I think that's a tough matchup. I would like to see Aaron Gordon guard him a little bit. I know Aaron Gordon's been struggling offensively, but that dude's legit on defense. Same with Shaq. That dude's a beast as well. So we can match up there. In the past, we've struggled with what's his name, Boban. He's just kind of so big and he's there in the middle. But I kind of think McGee can match up well against him. I know in the past he's given Jokic some fits, and that's unfortunate. You know that they're from the same country, right? So they've been playing against each other for who knows how many years. So I think the fact that we have McGee in that matchup's a little less scary. But at the end of the day, I think the Luka Doncic, it's all about who can contain him and how you're going to be able to handle him and his crybaby attitude.
He really has become a crybaby, hasn't he? I think after he made those comments to the female official about how he wanted to like hook up with her, do you remember that?
No.
Oh, it was like a month and a half ago.
Oh,
she made a call on him, and he was like, "Yeah, I'll call you." You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
call you later.
Yeah.
It was. I'm falling in love with you. It was about a foul.
Falling in love.
Very cheesy.
Yeah.
All right.
But I'm
very Balkan of him.
I'm pretty very Balkan. Hey, lady. Wait, Balkan accent? Would you like to try it?
No.
No. Okay. No. Well, I'll give it a shot. Hey, lady. I'm from the Balkan region of Europe, and I like wife beaters and kolsches.
Your Balkan accent sounded more like Fat Albert.
Guys, suck at accents.
Man.
Oh, I'm so bad at
it. But okay, so I was with Tim talking about how Luka is a mismatch, and if we had Gary still, right, maybe we feel a little bit better about it. But if anything that gives me promise, particularly from last night, is how well PJ Dozier played defensively.
Yeah.
And maybe you put PJ on him, who is looking better and better defensively as we progress through the season.
Okay,
so
yeah.
Maybe PJ's on him, and then maybe like when you need to mix it up a little bit, you get Facu just to piss him off a little bit.
We have some,
Luke is a little too big for Facu. That's the problem.
Isn't it interesting that PJ, who's not as big as PG-13, defends PG-13 really well?
I did last night.
And Gordon, who's a little bit bigger than Kawhi, defends Kawhi really well. Puts them both out of their element. We match up well against the Clippers. We match up well against the Suns. We match up okay against the Jazz.
Yeah.
We don't necessarily match up well against the Mavs. It's weird. But I like Shaq Harrison, that addition to Will's point earlier. If you take a look at our net defensive rating since April, we are now 6th in the league in defense. And although our offensive efficiency has dropped, our defensive efficiency has raised from 16th in the league before April, before essentially Jamal is out, to 6th in the league now. And our overall rating has maintained the same level because our defense has picked
went
up.
down one.
Yep.
Went down one because our offense has gone down about 4.
Yep.
But our defense has improved by like 8 or 7.
Yes. And when I don't know, when you play defense, do you guys know what the playoff, our whole argument all the time against George Karl was, well, they didn't play defense. The playoffs is a half-court game. It's a slow-paced game. And now, if that's the deal, I think we've set ourselves up well.
Yeah, and I will say this: the Clippers have a really easy schedule moving forward after us, even though we have.
I think they'll finish 6-1. 6-1.
We have to play the Lakers, the Knicks, the Nets, the Jazz, the Trailblazers, who are trying to get out of the play-ins.
Mm-hmm.
So, we have a pretty tough schedule moving forward. I mean, we're still playing great, but I mean, you look at that, it's kind of a little bit of a gauntlet next week.
Yeah.
Playing good teams that are trying to get ready for the playoffs just like us. So, are we at home against the Jazz, or we got to go?
We have to go to
Utah. We got to go to Utah.
We only have 2 more home games left.
Yeah, so it's going to be tough. But like you said, Dave, I don't think we go below the 4.
You can't. If you
but
do,
there might be some constant movement between the Mavs, the Lakers,
us,
Clippers, and the Clippers. Because Braun's back now.
Right.
And so is AD. So they're going to start trying to ramp up the next 2 weeks in preparation for the playoffs. So, really the Lakers are going to be just trying to fine tune things, getting ready and getting everybody healthy. So I would still rather play the Mavs, man. I don't, there's no way the NBA would let LeBron James lose in the first round if they want this greatest ever talk to happen. And I just don't trust the NBA officials. And just like, I was watching the game last night a couple times now, they played, the Nuggets played great, and just me and my Nuggets bias. When MPJ got in foul trouble, I was like, it's fixed! It's fixed!
Yeah.
When they called, when he rejected that guy clean as hell, and they called a foul, and I was yelling at the TV challenge him, Malone! Challenge him!
Mm-hmm.
Of course they want to have MPJ with 4 fouls. Yelling at the TV.
Yeah.
Like I'm a, baby. But I just worry. I don't trust the NBA and their love for LeBron and the players' union also. So, yeah, I would rather definitely face the Mavs. Even though they love themselves some Luka, it's not even close to what LeBron is and what his what is this? Not dynasty. What am I looking at? Legacy. Thank you for the word. I just don't think the NBA would make sure some certain things happen.
Timmy, give us hope, because we know what's destined, and that is a matchup with the Lakers in the first round.
I don't know if it's destined.
Well, I hope not, but give us some hope. What's your hope if we do face the Lakers?
I'm really excited to see how inputting Gordon and how he's going to be guarded, who he's going to be guarding. That's going to be a game changer. Really, all you have to do, to be honest, is stop either AD or LeBron, because when neither of them are playing, or when one of them's playing, they're just an average team. But when you have them both out there, they're a great team. So if you can actually just lock down one of them, I think we have a fighting chance. And between Eric Gordon, he should be able to lock them down. Would be my hope that he'd be able to lock one of them down, and I think it would be hard, but I think Shaq could play a little good defense on one of them, on LeBron for a little bit, not long stints because of the size matchup, but I think he's scrappy enough, and he's I ain't gonna back down type attitude, which is what I love. So, the fact that we're actually playing some good defense right now is a plus, and that can help us. But realistically, outside of AD and LeBron, they're not very good, and we saw that with how they fell during this time when AD and LeBron were out. So that gives me hope. It's just all about playing the game and trying to understand it and trying to play the officials as well. And we all know that the Denver Nuggets can complain to the NBA about officiating and nothing changes. But baby Bron says one thing, and next thing you know, he's shooting 23 free throws. So got to be careful there. But I think, like I said, you can shut one of them down. I think we have fighting chance. But again, you got to watch out. The NBA loves them some Lakers.
I think Tim nailed it there. Another thing, if we're going to talk about what the positives are and why we could beat the Lakers if the inevitable happens.
I think there are a bunch of positives. Yeah.
They're not the same team as they were last year.
No.
They do not have Dwight Howard. They do not have Rajon Rondo.
Right.
I think, and I told this to people when they were falling in love with the signings of Montrezl Harrell and Schroeder. I was like, your team is not better than losing Howard and losing Rondo. If they still had Howard and Rondo, I would be a lot more worried about this team. And McKee. I mean, the size that they presented last season was just, it was a problem. And not that Marc Gasol isn't good either, but it's not the same. Like, they don't need they need that athleticism in the front court, and they don't have that as much because Gasol, while he's still a decent defender, he can't play above the rim, which is a problem for the Nuggets.
Right.
When you play a good pick and dive guy against Jokic, it's hard for him. And obviously with Gobert and Mitchell, we saw that. And in a lot of teams when we played Harden and Capella, those were the teams that gave us fits defensively because they had someone who could play above the rim. And Jokic isn't that, and that's why we have McGee now, which is nice.
Vertical spacing.
But I don't think Schroeder doesn't scare me. Like Rondo does.
Not like Rondo does, but Schroeder can do his thing.
No, I'm saying he's still a good player, but the playoff Rondo is a thing.
Oh, I agree. It's a thing.
So I think that if we're going to talk about why maybe it's different this year than last year, or just playing the Lakers in general. It's that they don't have Howard and they don't have Rondo, and they're not as good as they were last year.
I agree, and I would say we actually match up even. I can't believe I'm about to say this with Jamal Murray out and the acquisitions we've made. Defensively, we actually match up better against the Lakers now than we did maybe 2 months ago. I think you've got Aaron Gordon, who will guard LeBron. He will be asked to guard LeBron James. And I think he will do it as well, if not better, than what Jeremy Grant did. And remember, Jeremy Grant relinquished 2 30-point games against LeBron in the playoffs last year. I'm pretty sure Aaron Gordon will do a better job against LeBron. You guys bring up a great point. It's LeBron. He's going to get to the line. I get that, right? Paul Millsap has always guarded AD fairly well.
Yeah.
And now you can match him and JaMychal Green. You can rotate them and just be a thorn in his side the whole game. You could be like, Paul, your go. JaMychal Green, your go. Paul, your go. And you can just be like, and whoever's defending him better that night, just keep him on him. And has Paul Millsap not been awesome the last 2 weeks? What he's done, the way he's playing. And again, we knew it. We always felt this from the beginning of the season. We were like, dude, let him play against the second unit of another team, and he's going to show up. And now he's showing up.
He's a great April. Had a great April.
He had a great April.
And another great night last night.
A great night. He took over the game in the second quarter for about a 4-minute stretch. He took over the game.
Something I want your guys' opinion on. When Barton and Monte come back, is our defense worse?
Timmy?
Probably. But I think our offense gets a little bit better as well. I know Facu's been playing great at the one position, and he's really capitalized on his moment here to shine. He had his first career double-double. He's doing great things, and he's pesky. He's a pesky defender, and I love it. I just think you get some points that we've been missing when you have Monte back in there. And Barton, when he wants to, he can buckle down and play some decent defense.
Barton can defend.
So I think when they come back in the playoffs, I think you're going to be seeing Morris is more of a drive kick out or occasional shoot point guard. He's going to be a 10 to 15 point guy. And I think as long as we can keep Barton offensively under control and understanding when and when not to shoot, because when he's kind of like MPJ to the fact that when he catches in rhythm and shoots, he's great, but he can be out of control when he tries to drive. If you can limit that, I think that he has the ability to play decent enough defense to kind of keep us in where we should be.
What worries me about when they get back, and I think it's always funny, right? When you have these significant injuries and you have perseverance and then you gel as a team because you've gone through this challenges together as a team. Who I really like, who's played well, not necessarily offensively, but has played his role, is Austin Rivers.
I agree.
Austin Rivers played good defense last night too, and he's a better defender than Monte Morris. And I'm not saying that Monte doesn't get his regular minutes when he gets back, but that means Austin's minutes are going to go down, and reasonably so. But I mean, he's been playing good, and that second unit has been gelling a little bit finally.
Here's the deal. If there's ever a team that you don't worry about gelling, it's this team.
Yeah.
Because they are gelled. They don't care. They don't care, man. Who sent that video? It was you.
Yeah.
The Austin Rivers interview?
Yeah, the Austin Rivers
interview. Are you kidding
awesome.
me? Yeah. He is pointing things out that no NBA, I've never heard an NBA player say it. Never. He says, first of all, the team is selfless. No one cares who's scoring. No one cares who's defending. We are all playing on the same level. You have an MVP candidate who will be the MVP, and if he's not, it's a Travis Shamrockery.
Mm-hmm.
He will be the MVP, and he's warming up on the side rims. Like, do you remember? Rivers was like, I've never been on, and he's been on 6 NBA teams, and we'll give a quiz here in a minute. He's been on 6 NBA teams.
Probably like 3.
He's been on 6 NBA teams. All have had a decent star, and he's like, Jokic warms up on the side rims so that other people can play on the main rims.
Mm-hmm.
And he's just like, I've never seen it, dude. I've never seen anything like it. I've never been in a culture like this. I've never been and this is a dude who's been around the game. Not a guy who's like, this isn't like some rookie from Western Carolina.
Yeah.
You know, this is a dude who's been or Kentucky or what. Like, this is a dude who's been in the game since he was born.
Yep.
He knows.
Well, his dad is a NBA player and coach.
I apologize, guys, but dinner's ready. I don't.
Do you want to play this quiz?
Well, I'd rather play Will's song.
Yeah, if you had to pick a song that is encompassing of the Nuggets season, what would you pick?
I have the Tiger.
I have the Tiger. Keep fighting.
Keep fighting. Never give up. Never surrender.
All right. Well, Tim, we're going to be here after you eat, maybe. So just see if we're around.
I'll shoot you guys a text when we're finished. Peace.
Tim, are there sharks in the water?
Sharks in the water.
Apparently, there are sharks in the water. I've seen some dolphins. So apparently, if you see a dolphin, there are no sharks. But that's the Atlantic. Jaws roams the Atlantic.
Time for dinner.
Crab cakes.
Oh, that's what Maryland does.
Crab
All right,
cakes and
gents.
football.
I'll see you guys later.
All right, man. Enjoy.
Bye.
Rich person dinner.
About to eat me some crab
Probably
cakes.
some crab cakes and salad.
Some great wine.
Yep.
Gonna have some wine and gonna eat some crab cakes.
Collard greens.
And what are you having for dinner, Will?
I made Olive Garden chicken pasta.
You made Olive Garden?
Yeah, no, so it's called Olive Garden chicken pasta. It's a slow cooker meal. You use Olive Garden Italian dressing with cream cheese,
Okay.
with some chicken,
And pasta?
and then you shred the chicken, and then you add Parmesan, and you add noodles.
Well, that sounds yummy.
It is pretty good. I've never had it, so I don't know.
Is it cooking right now?
It's in the crock pot right
Well, we might end Bros on Nuggs to go eat some Olive Garden chicken and pasta.
So it's not quite crab cakes. I wish
It's not quite
I wish
crab
I
cakes.
was like, I'm smoking my salmon tonight.
Oh, I'm on the Outer Banks of North Carolina. All these homes are gorgeous. And by the way, the ocean tide is rolling in right now. And, it's perfect timing for some lovemaking.
We're gonna watch the sunset in our backyard and eat some crab cakes.
Yeah.
Drink some wine.
Drink wine and eat some crab cakes and the jacuzzi. I get it. I mean, I know there's this whole body of water, but there's also this jacuzzi right
Tomorrow
here.
play some golf, maybe some croquet. I don't know.
I don't know
if
if
we'll
we'll have time. You guys into paddleboard?
Good for him, man. He deserves a good, nice little vacation before camp starts.
Oh my god, yeah. Oh yes, absolutely.
So, you went to Oregon, so you guys get your little trips in before the busy summer season. So good for you guys.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, back to the Nug.
All right, Timmy, we love you. If you join us later, that's awesome.
Can we talk a little bit about last night's game and the magnificence of Nikola Jokic?
I'd like to quiz you first.
Okay, let's do it.
Austin Rivers, in his 6 years in the league, no,
Yes.
8 years.
8.
8 years in the league, Has played on 6 different teams.
Okay. He was on the Knicks.
Correct.
That's most recently the Rockets.
Correct.
Before the Rockets, he was on the Clippers.
Correct.
Right, he was on the Clippers.
He definitely played for the Clippers.
Man, obviously the Nuggets. That's 4.
That's
right
4.
there.
Yeah.
Who did he get drafted by? Because it wasn't the Clippers, right?
You said New Orleans, right?
No, I didn't say the Pels.
Oh, whoops!
So he was on the Pels. No, I didn't get that one.
Okay.
So we won't give me that one because I don't think I would have said the Pels.
There's one more.
You'll
never guess it. I didn't guess it.
Mavericks.
No.
Who?
It's an Eastern Conference team. He played for them in 2018, the full year.
I thought he was on the Rockets during the 18.
No.
Okay, Eastern Conference team.
This shows you like how bad Austin Rivers is.
No, yeah. I mean, just
he's traveled the NBA.
I don't know. Tell me.
Washington Wizards.
Wow. No, I would not.
I didn't remember that either.
I wouldn't have said that.
Yeah.
No. Okay. I mean, but when we were listening to that interview, too, it was just like, man,
so smart.
Hearing him.
How many points per game? If he averages this many points per game, the Nuggets will win an NBA championship.
Well, I don't know if it matters once Monte comes back. But can you imagine if he knocked down 2 to 3 threes a game?
That's it.
He did make a clutch 3 last night.
Yeah, he did.
Which was nice because when he was with Houston and Dan Antonio shoot everything ball. Mm-hmm. He was actually making some corner threes pretty consistently.
Yeah,
he's not there yet because he hasn't been getting minutes at all this year. So it's kind of new for him to try to figure out his shot. But I never realized. I don't know. Actually, I did because when I watched him at Duke, I thought he was pretty good.
Me too.
How fast he is off the dribble.
He's very fast off the dribble, but he doesn't go anywhere.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, he doesn't take it anywhere.
He doesn't finish at the rim despite his speed.
Right. And he doesn't take his dribble anywhere. He just is fast with his dribble.
But he's been a significant. I don't know if significance is the right word, but maybe right now in the last 3 or 4 games, he's been a part of our success.
Oh, agreed.
We did re-sign him for the rest of the year, like we knew would happen.
Yep.
And I like when I mentioned that, I'm just curious to see what his role is when Monte or Barton, but who knows? Barton might not be around for the first playoff series.
Well, I think he has a role. But going back to what we were talking about earlier, that's what I love about our Nuggets team is I think they all have a role and they understand their role and they're willing to play their role. Like, we do not have – Paul Millsap has accepted his – imagine this 2 years ago. Here's the sell to Paul Millsap. Hey, man, we're signing you on this free agency contract, and we want you 2 years from now to basically have no minutes, come in off the bench, and just try to contribute a little bit.
Yeah.
That's what he's doing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, imagine that sell to a free agent, and he's doing it, and he's happy to do it. And the team is happy. Like, do you know how much they celebrate Paul Millsap?
Like,
look at the bench.
Jamal.
Yeah, Jamal yesterday. Like, look at they celebrate each other. It's an amazing group, dude.
Yeah.
This is what basketball's supposed to be. And
our team sports in general.
Exactly. It's celebrate each other. It doesn't matter what role you play. Just do your part, and we can all do it together.
Did you hear what Jokic said about the MVP after the game last night?
I didn't hear the interview.
Well, Dave Pash was asking him a question. He's like, well, we kind of try to allude to it, like, hey, we know you really don't care about individual awards, but what's your thoughts on the MVP talk and all this? He's all like, I just come out every night to try to play my best and try to win. And all I care about, I was like, would it be nice? Like, would I be honored? Yeah, but I'm there to, each night I'm not thinking about that. I'm thinking about what it takes for us to win.
Yeah.
And there's other goals in mind. So I'm just like, I just love Jokic.
And that's your guy.
Yeah.
That's your guy.
You just laughed at Richard Jefferson all the time.
Yeah. Because Richard
Jefferson is a goober.
He is a goober.
He lived. I mean, he played with us for a year.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, not really very much, but on the bench and
more in a coaching role.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. I just think the team makeup is amazing, and Doc Rivers had quickly bought into it. And I don't know if he bought into it quickly because he got a new job, or if he bought into it quickly because he was like, "Oh, this is different." Either way, who cares? He bought into it quickly. You know what I mean? And Shaq bought into it quickly.
Yes.
These people we bring in are like, yes.
I want to elaborate on this team thing that you're talking about in regards with Coach Malone. So Joel Rush is a beat writer for the Nuggets, awesome. And he made a really good point. And he said that there should be an award for not just Coach of the Year, because progression and development as a coach is more than just 1 year.
Right.
So he's like, sometimes I think there should be a award. And I don't know how it'd be phrased or looked on, because everything in the NBA is yearly. You know,
and
every recognize and every season's different.
Every major sport.
In every major sport. But he made a great point. He's like, what needs to be recognized is what Malone has done the last 3-4 years.
Yeah.
And has any other coach done that in regards with the development of players, how he has formed
Popovich?
Him, Conley, all of it together, and that just makes me so happy to be a Nuggets fan right now.
You do it the right way.
Yeah, we're kind of like the new Spurs.
We really are.
You know, knock on wood to win some championships.
I would say Popovich is the only other example.
Yeah.
I
small market team who did it the right way, developed
players,
developed camaraderie.
You had a guy who you knew was awesome, and he was a team guy, like David Robinson, obviously, but Tim Duncan mainly.
And great drafting and great development of players and great coaching, great front office,
great coaching.
You're not and then you get role players to sign small contracts, and that's how you win. You fill. You know the roles, and you fill those roles, and you do it well. Mm-hmm. And you have continued success. And
what's cool about it,
are kind of on that path.
What's cool about it now is we're actually we can kind of pick and choose. Like, there was a time in Nuggets history where you couldn't pick and choose, but now we can be like, ding. We can sign Shaq Harrison to a contract because he fits perfectly into what we do. You know what I mean? Like, there wasn't always that luxury of being able to pick and choose, but they did such a good job of developing young talent that now we get to choose. We get to be like, all right, Shaq Harrison, you fit in right here. I know exactly what you'll be able to do, and you'll help our team. You know what I mean? Austin Rivers, you'll fit in perfectly right here. I know exactly what you can do, and you'll be able to fill this void.
Yeah.
And we can pick and choose now. Not every NBA team has that luxury.
What I really like is what the Nuggets, Conley knows the team, so we get good character guys.
Yeah.
Austin Rivers, despite of him not playing very much the last couple of years,
I was never a big fan of him.
Yeah, but is overall to me is a good character guy.
Seems
Aaron Gordon
seems like a character guy.
I mean, and with the way Jokic plays, if you're a role player, why wouldn't you if I cut hard, I can get easy points.
Yeah,
and I know the antithesis of this is Grant, right? He was well, I want a bigger role, and so reasonably so, but Gordon can be no, I've had that role, and we didn't succeed, and we were terrible, and I wasn't going to go anywhere with the Magic in regards with be able to play in the playoffs. Could I be maybe a 17 to 20 point guy,
which he's not,
8 rebounds or something? Another team maybe, yeah, but here no.
Can you get 10?
Yeah, 15 to 10, and play defense and be what we need you to be. So, I think that should still promote and influence other people, free agents. I don't know. Maybe it's different because the NBA always has egos. So, but we don't want those players anyway. And we don't want one of those players. We want to play people that want to win. And maybe you get some veterans that have been in the league that are still good players that still have some ability to, contribute. And we have that good mix of young and old now.
Have we made a bad move in the last 4 years?
I think initially when we traded Malik Beasley and Wancho, people were really upset about that.
I wasn't.
Overall as fans.
As fans, yeah.
People really, really like Malik and the energy he brought in the shooting off the bench. And because he is a scorer. I'm trying to even remember what we got for that trade.
Didn't matter.
It was a cap unload. Because
all you have to know
we
is
got
you
Bates,
got
we
knocked
got
out.
Diop, we got Bates, Diop,
Yeah.
and really what a pick. That pick turned into Najee, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe it turned into RJ, who's not traded. But
I do miss RJ.
RJ Cross.
I do miss RJ.
Yeah, but again, overall is that we're doing it the right way, and we will continue to do so. And I'm excited to see what the playoffs bring and next year brings. And I know a couple weeks ago when we did the podcast when Jamal got hurt, and we were like, "It's over." And I think I'm being more optimistic and realizing how resilient this team is, and it's pretty cool to see.
Yeah, you can't teach or coach resiliency. You can do it. Sorry, I shouldn't have said that. You can teach and coach resiliency, which is why Malone's awesome. But when you lose your second best player, you can't.
A lot of teams that would drown you.
Drown them. They would have been done. Imagine the Clippers if Paul George goes down. They're done. They are done.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, Paul George, not clutch at all. And a head case. A huge head case. Did you see how he pushed Facu over? And then did you see in the third quarter how he pushed Jokic? Man, Paul George is a head case, dude. No wonder he never actually became great. That dude's a head case. He's a head case. Kawhi, bad locker room guy, but on the court, not a head case. You know what you're getting. He's going to perform. He's going to do his thing. Paul George, probably the exact opposite. Probably a great teammate. But on the court, that guy loses his shit. He loses his cool. You know what I mean?
It's just again, but I agree with Paul George. But to get back to the talking about how good this team's been, we're 9-1 now without Jamal.
Yeah. And if you count
13-3 in the month of April,
and if you count the games where he was actually a part of the team but wasn't injured, we've only lost 3 games.
Yeah, 2 of them in the Warriors,
right?
In Oakland.
Yeah.
On times where Steph is just
Stephen is go off mode.
And I'm gonna dip my balls in it.
I'm gonna dip my balls in it. Yeah, Steph Curry, man. But the Clippers, all right, let's talk playoffs for a second.
Okay.
And let's just try to gather our thoughts around what's about to happen. All right. What team? Is it just the Lakers you're afraid of? What team makes you the most nervous?
Yeah, say we make it out of the first round, and then we got to play someone else, right?
Say we have to. Is it just? Well, say we're in the first round. Is there a matchup beyond the Lakers you're super nervous about? I don't fear. I said this earlier in the broadcast. I do not fear the Clippers. I think we've got them. You know what I mean? Do you?
Maybe they haven't been there in so long, so I don't know if it's fair to say, but maybe the Suns without Jamal, with Booker and their backcourt being, but they're, I don't know if you've been watching the Suns, but Torrey Craig has been playing well for him.
I have been. He's averaging a double-double in the last week or so.
Yeah, and I'm like,
right.
Why couldn't he stay in the East?
That's probably
why, Bucks? Why did you get rid of that guy?
That's probably a good sign for us if Torrey Craig is averaging a double-double. You know what I mean? That's probably a good sign for the Nuggets. You know what I mean? If that guy's stacking up numbers like that,
I think maybe the Suns, but I don't know. Because they have someone who might remotely be able to defend Jokic.
Correct.
Who else? You could say that about Gobert maybe too, but we saw in the playoffs when Jokic has never been better.
Oh, you can spread him out. You can do everything against him.
Yeah, so
He's got Gobert.
I mean, no, the biggest team is LA. That scares me the most.
The Lakers.
I'm not even worried about the Clippers, even though Cousins last night they kind of figured something out to try to fluster Jokic. But any other year, Jokic would have been. That would have affected him.
Exactly. It's not.
And it didn't.
No.
And you could just tell Cousins like, all right, I'm going in to piss him off.
Yeah. Oh, that was his goal. That's the MO. And you know what Cousins did after the game? If you watched the post game, immediately went to Jokic and dapped him up.
Yeah.
I'm not sure Howard would have done that.
No.
But Cousins was like, I got a great game, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I don't know. I don't hate DeMarcus Cousins.
Well,
do you hate Boogie?
There used to be this thought around the league, and reasonably so, with Yoke when he was younger, you're a young player,
or last year,
or a little bit until the playoffs, was that he's weak-minded.
Correct.
And I don't think that anymore.
Me neither. I was worried about it at one point.
I mean, he hasn't got a T in forever. He used to average like one every 2 weeks.
He would get
like that. Yeah, I don't know if that's fair.
That's not fair. Yeah, that's not an actual stat.
Yeah, that's probably very weak on my end. But
it's something, you get frustrated.
I think I'm just trying to find a stat to support my claim. False stats, fake news. But yeah, I just think his development, not just athletic, physically, because he's committed himself to being more in shape.
Yeah.
But also hey, ebbs and flows and rolling with it and not getting too high and not getting too low. And, he'll say something to a ref when they miss a call, which is a lot. But he, just keeps on going. And
would you want Boogie to be a part of our team?
That being said, he's going to get a team next game.
That's fine. Would you take Boogie Cousins next year on some short veterans?
Tim's been clamoring for it, right?
Yeah,
because we need something that toughness. But
would you rather have him or JaVale McGee?
Him, because he can shoot the ball.
Yeah,
he's more versatile. But he's also injury prone. So it's not like it matters at that point though when you're coming off the bench,
right?
So
your answer?
Yeah, I think I'd rather have Cousins.
What's Sabrina up to? Is she all right?
She was in a really bad hailstorm driving back from Nebraska, but she okay.
Is she coming back tonight?
Yeah.
What? After that run?
Yeah, go ahead, run 26 and 23
drive
miles. And
back?
then she's not driving. Her friend's driving.
Oh, okay.
She's in a car after you've ran 26 miles. So, again, that's fun.
How's she not passed out?
Because there was a hailstorm? Maybe that's why she's not passed out?
Probably the same storm that passed over us earlier, huh?
It's probably way worse when you go out into the valley.
Yeah. Out into Nebraska.
Oh, plains.
Nebraska.
She sent me a picture of everybody in Lincoln just partying their asses off without masks. I was like, yep.
Super.
You're in Nebraska.
She's vaccinated, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And maybe those people were too.
Or maybe not.
Probably not.
That's what I thought when I was watching the Kentucky Derby. I was like,
they're all vaccinated.
No, maybe they're all vaccinated. No, probably 70% of them are like anti-vaxxers, just like, it's the Derby.
You're the outlier wearing the mask?
Yeah, exactly. Oh my God. I couldn't. Watching the Derby it didn't drive me as mad as it drove Liz, but it drove both of us like, really? Maybe they're vaccinated.
Texas is full bore, so is Florida.
Right? And you know what? I'm okay at this point. And it won't bother any of my viewers saying this because no one watches this. But at this point, you had your opportunity. Go get a shot.
Yeah.
You want to be sick? That's on you.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yep.
Let's open all this shit up. If you want to be that person, if you want to get sick, go for it. Go for it. Have fun with that. Right?
I've never seen. Has the NBA? I would think the NBA is vaccinated now. I haven't seen.
I've seen it with baseball. I've seen it with baseball. I've not seen it with the NBA.
And NFL says everybody's going to get vaccinated so they can go.
Well, the Broncos had a clinic.
Which is weird. I
Even
mean,
though
they
their draft room wasn't one of the fully vaccinated draft rooms.
No.
Which upset me thoroughly.
I hear you.
Fuck. Trying to run a business here, people. You know what I mean? Like, just come on, man. For real. I'm trying to run a business here. Can't have you fools being like, this is bullshit.
Can we go off another tangent here in regards with the Pels game? I want to talk about that game real quick.
Yes, absolutely.
It's first time, and again, this is what excites me about the Nuggets moving forward too. Because the last couple times we've played the Pels, Zion and Ingram have played pretty well against us.
Mm-hmm.
And not that Zion didn't have another good game.
I like Ingram, by the way.
I mean, Gordon was in foul trouble, and I think then, Zion did a good job of that too, and the NBA also gave him some love because Zion, even though he's young, is smart because he's so quick and athletic.
Right.
He can get people up in the air or even not in the air, and even when you go straight up, he goes into you.
Yeah.
And he's so strong and big, just like LeBron, where you're like, oh man, that's a foul. It's like, well, he jumped into me. Like, what am I supposed to do?
Yeah.
This is my space. But I thought it was bullshit, just like the 2-minute things are, is that rejection on him to win the game by Jokic, and then the NBA come. Yes, it was. It was, and I'm not lying that it wasn't. But the 2-minute stuff is so dumb.
Yeah.
Like, okay, like it does. Like, I don't know. Maybe I guess there's transparency. I guess it creates transparency. So maybe I should just be like, it is what it is.
Well, what's your issue?
I think the 2-minute thing of the NBA saying they did it wrong is stupid. But maybe not. Maybe it's a good thing because then you have people saying, hey, they got it wrong. But it doesn't matter.
It doesn't change.
It doesn't change anything. But I guess they're just trying to say, hey, man, we're human. We get it wrong too. Which is true.
Yeah.
If you've ever officiated before.
Would you like that? Or it is a difficult thing to do. I remember getting yelled at by Mrs. Holly in a 3rd and 4th game, park and rec game in Columbine for making the wrong call as a 16-year-old kid.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, literally being chewed out. Like, who doesn't want to officiate ever again? This guy, you know what I mean? Like, it just ruins.
Oh, I do it all the time, and it's not fun. Most times you're okay, but
dude, no, officiating sucks.
At the highest level, it is not an easy job.
You are getting paid for it, though.
But yeah, it's difficult. But that's what I was just talking about. Oh man,
It's Luna.
Okay, is the 2 minutes, man? I think it's kind of stupid. Maybe it's not. Here's your poor child crying, and it's affecting my train of thought. I hope she's okay. Hope you're okay, little girl.
She may not be. Well, that's a real scream.
Yeah. Oh, it's a fight.
It's a fight.
Okay, so there's no injury. This is good. Just emotional stress.
Yeah. It's a fight over a toy. Willie ever fought over a toy before?
Oh man, yeah. Youngest brother. Actually, most of our fights were video games when we got older.
Yeah.
I'm sure you can relate.
Yeah, Tim.
And because you're the older brother and you're better.
Yeah, Tim hated beat him all the time.
So we played Tecmo Bowl a lot, Super Tecmo Bowl, actually, not just Tecmo Bowl, Super Tecmo Bowl. And my brother would be the San Francisco 49ers with Joe Montana, and
and
I would try to be like the Broncos,
right?
We weren't
unfair matchup,
quite there yet. And I'm probably just predictable. And here's the thing about Super Tecmo Bowl:
I'm probably just predictable.
If you pick the play that your other opponent is going to pick, because you have the playbook.
Yes.
Yeah. We all have to see the same playbook.
Yep.
And if you pick the same play that person picked,
nothing you can do about it.
It's an all-out blitz, and you can't do anything.
Nope. Nothing you can do about it.
He just, in my head, knew what I was going to do, knew what plays I was going to run, and until I started being the Bills. I started figuring it out when I was the Buffalo Bills with Thurman Thomas and Jim Kelly and Lofton and Andre Reed. Mm-hmm. And then the defense was good because you could be Bruce Smith in blitz. But yeah, he would pick my plays all the time, and it pissed me the fuck off. And he'd just laugh. Mm-hmm. Like, how could you not? Like,
dude. It's really funny.
Yeah.
Making the younger brother mad. Yeah. Like, it's funny. Like, you don't mean for it to be funny. Like, that's not your intention going in. But the younger brother gets to this level of, like, frustration that you're just like, how do I handle it? I'm just going to laugh. Which then makes their frustration even more.
And my brother was just better at individual sports than me, in general.
Could you beat him at tennis?
Oh, that'd be tough. He's actually all right. Yeah, he's pretty good.
Hey, Jed Davis, I'm throwing it out there right now. I will beat you at tennis.
He's terrible. He's good. He plays a lot.
Couldn't beat him at golf. No. I'll beat him at tennis, though, if Jed was ever.
Maybe.
How could you not beat him at tennis?
I don't know. It was pretty even when we would play at the courts that were by the high school.
Really?
A long time ago.
A long time ago.
But yeah, and it's just when you're beating your older sibling, you can't help but our younger sibling in his case
can't help but laugh. And that makes it worse, doesn't it?
We don't like it.
Yeah, is it?
And then you want to fight.
Yeah, then you want to fight. But in the older brother perspective, it's just like, I didn't mean for this to happen. It's just you got frustrated, and I thought it was fun.
Because you're not any good. But like if we played like, because he doesn't play video games anymore. But I would love to play him in like 2K or FIFA.
Can you beat him at Catan?
We're pretty even. Pretty even. Right? We're both kind of depends on how the board falls.
Who's creating the board?
But yeah, we're it's always a battle. So I don't like playing my wife at Catan. No. Tim wouldn't even want to like learn Catan. You're like, no, I don't want to learn this game.
Yeah, this game's
dumb. There's too much. You mean I got to do what? I think Tim could be good at it.
Oh yeah,
he would be good if he took the time to learn, but I don't think he enjoys
learning that type of thing.
A game like that.
Yeah. It's a hard game to really like.
No. So yeah, it's very the rules when it's funny trying to explain Catan to somebody. There was actually like a video on Instagram of like making fun of somebody trying to explain Catan to somebody who's never played before.
Okay.
And, I just started out with probability. Okay, so it's kind of about probability.
Not at all.
Yeah, it is.
Kind of.
With the dice.
Kind of.
Well, that's kind of the gist. You want to get some good numbers. You want to get yourself some sixes, some eights.
Yeah.
Maybe go to a port, find some resources. Catan tangent. This is great. Thought you never asked.
Yeah. Welcome to Catan.
You know what? It's really fun playing with the wife. I know you guys haven't probably listened to us in forever, and hey, congratulations on your soon-to-be baby. But it's always fun playing with the Wises because they are serious Catan players.
Like serious?
Yeah, like Megan's really good too, but like JD takes forever to pick his spots. It is important.
JD, I'm with you. And I always feel rushed, so I'm with you. Yeah.
It's like, no, this is the most important part of the game.
Yeah.
How to determine my success.
It is.
And he's right. But
people want to.
And then like it's so funny because me and my wife do the same thing. So there's like these subtle arguments like, why picking on me? I'm not winning. Look over there. Look how many points they have on the board. Look what cards they have. Look at all the resources they have. Why do you want to steal from me? It's so funny, dude. It's such a funny game.
I've played with you guys.
Playing with couples is if you're playing again with or against couples and you're not the one, you're like, this is a little awkward.
Well, I've played with you and Sabrina multiple times, but they were
pretty good.
There were two times I was like, they're getting divorced. There were twice I was like, I don't know if their relationship will recover from this. But it did, which shows how strong your bond is.
Yeah, we're fine. Catan will do that to you.
Start going to go out and play Catan. It'll make you hate your wife.
No, it's just when you're competitive like your wife, you just things you can trade and you can pick on people.
Yeah, you can.
So there's things that you can do to really screw somebody, and when you're the one getting screwed, you're going to be pretty upset about it.
Hey man, I know how it goes because Bradley Colbank, if he was here, he would attest. My game was strong, dude. Last Sunday.
B-ball.
My game was strong.
You said you started to feel it after the first one.
Oh yeah.
I wish I could have stayed.
I wish you could have stayed, dude. If we'd been on the same team, like maybe two games.
Yeah, we already had. I already sent that down screen for you. And
wide open shot. Yeah.
I had that cut where I just missed it a little too much. No touch.
Yeah.
But
Timmy, if Timmy was here, he'd be like, "My whole life, Will's been trying to do a hook right in the lane, and he never makes it."
Is that what he said to you?
Yeah, he did. He was like, "And Will, the first shot he had was a hook off the backboard."
It's a good move. It's not touch.
You just never finished, apparently. I don't know. That's what
that's not true because you played with me at threat level midnight, and that I actually kind of figured that out a little bit.
Threat level midnight. No, you're good. I don't know if you're good at the hook, is what Tim was saying.
No, but I had a couple of those with threat level midnight, is what I'm saying.
Threat level midnight. You had a whole array of shots.
Elbow jumper.
Elbow jumper.
And I got a quick first step, so usually I can get to the rim a little bit.
Yeah,
it wasn't necessarily my first shot. I tried to drive to the lane, and that guy hit my arm. And I'm not going to say a foul.
Not when you just start. Yeah. Especially when you.
It was like out of bounds. Like, okay, it's out of bounds. He's like, yeah, I got ball. I was like, sure, but
yeah,
you hit my arm, but it's fine. It was fun. It was fun playing. I wish I could have played longer. I had to get home. Wife was still upset at me.
Really? Even when you sacrificed a whole hour of playing basketball?
Oh, I think it was just a matter of I said I was going to be home earlier because I thought I was until we found out we were playing basketball.
So much fun, man. Wow, we dominated.
Just good to play ball again without concerns and, vaccinated, ready to run.
Dude, I was doing great. Just saying. I was playing ball.
Good.
Playing ball. Will, any last thoughts here as we wrap up the show, Bros on Nuggs? Timmy's in North Carolina. Come on and raise up. Take your shirt off. He did not do any of that.
Well, we didn't get him soon enough because he had to eat his crab cakes.
That's right.
Crab cakes. But no, overall, I'm really proud of the Denver Nuggets and excited to see what this tough week is going to bring us. With playing the Knicks, the Lakers. Lakers tomorrow night. I hope we kick the living crap out of them tomorrow. We
have a tough run in, man.
And I hope we beat the Jazz too. I think we can definitely take care of the Knicks. I know the Knicks are playing well, but overall, and the Nets. We got to play the Nets. And I think this will be good. This will be a little bit telling moving forward.
Time out, real quick. How many of the All-Stars on the Nets will be sitting for that game?
Well, Harden, and that's it.
None of the others?
No, I don't. Durant will probably play, and so will Kyrie.
Okay. What about Blake Griffin?
Yeah, he'll play a little bit.
What about LaMarcus Aldridge?
He retired.
That's right. What about? Are there any other All-Stars on the Knicks?
No, I think the other people you got to worry about who it kind of sucks for him because of the number of people that showed up on the team who
Nets. Sorry.
Joe Harris
has a 3-ball.
Yeah, but hasn't been doing anything because they have so many people on this team. Like if you're Joe Harris, I guess kind of sucks.
Yeah.
Because he was a good player. And not that he's not good. But yeah, I think the next 2 weeks we could potentially only lose 2 games, maybe 1, or you could potentially lose 3 or 4.
All of them. Yeah. Yep.
So, but again, I'm so impressed with them and happy to see how well they've played. And just before we leave, John Moran is a screaming POS, and
Why? What happened?
oh no, we played the Grizzlies, and the last 2 times we had Bros on Nuggs, we haven't talked about the Grizzly game.
Good point.
And I know we haven't had time, but John Moran, every time, he must be watching a lot of Dame Lillard, because anytime he goes to the lane, he goes, oh! It doesn't matter if he's touching or not. He just screams. So there's that. And it annoys me. And but it doesn't matter because we beat him. We beat the living crap out of him. And,
3 times, dude.
And it's all because Aaron Gordon and his defense. No, just kidding.
It's all because of you, man.
It sounds like a Janet Jackson song.
That's what it is. Would you sing it real quick?
No,
Please.
I don't have that.
Come on, falsetto that.
So for you, you really wrote it. That's all I got. I'm sure people were staying tuned for that one.
No one's listening.
No one is listening to me.
Maybe Timmy will at this point.
What do you think? What do you think about this upcoming week overall? Where we're at? We only got 2 more weeks, man.
I think we
What a goober, dude. That's your wife.
She's like, please end this.
In this pain and suffering. All right, we're about to.
Yeah. What I think is, dude, I think we're gonna finish like 5-3. And I think we're gonna finish with the 3 seed. And I think we're gonna have to play the frickin' Lakers.
Yeah.
And I think we're gonna beat them in the first round. Prediction.
All right, Bros on Nuggs fans. I'm sure so many of you are listening right now. Or will. Just like everybody else, because if you actually listen to the podcast, it's pretty damn good. And it's enjoyable. And I hope we made you laugh today. And I hope we make you laugh in the future.
Good night, Timmy.